excuse me for eating. This is just going to be a wee quick video. I had been made aware of a certain Globe disciple known as Miles Davis trying to deceive people with, you know, camera trickery. And I'm going to show you exactly what this lying sack of shit has been up to. You can recreate this for yourself, people. Anybody can recreate this. It's very, very simple. People just need to slow things down and have an actual look at what's going on. Okay, so let me just get a couple of things up here first. Just bear with me a wee second here. Right, so the point I want to make here first and foremost, okay, now this is at Erskine Bridge here, just over the road from me, all right. Now the top of these things is 83 metres, okay. Up here is 270 metres. Now if you're always lower than the object in the foreground, you get a parallax, the things in the background will drop, okay. So, and remember, when we take any image, any camera, okay, where you're looking is always the centre of the screen. So you dissect any image with a crosshair to pinpoint the central point so you can see where this camera is actually pointing, which is there, okay. So if I then move along a wee bit from a further away point, let me see, found one earlier. Okay, right, so this is from the hotel bank, so you're further away now, okay, decreasing your angle, and look what happens at the back here. It goes up, but again, centre of the screen here. This is where we're pointing, okay? So anybody can recreate this. Here's another one from a higher elevation, now closer to the height of that, still not at the height, okay? And that's now popping up in the background. So this hill here is very close to this. If this was further away, this would still be dropping due to the laws of perspective, just as it should be, okay? So let me have a wee look now. Right, so straight away, right, we'll go for this one. Hope everybody's seeing exactly what I want them to see here. This is this character, Miles Davis, another lying dipshit who has been on the live broadcast here and took an absolute spanking. So you see here how deceptive he's actually being. Now, what he's saying is camera height, 210 metres, Tarprain Law. This monument, 210 metres. Now look, he's drawn a line there. This is where his eye line is. No, it's not. Intersect the screen with a crosshair. His eye line is here. There's the centre of the screen. That's the actual height of the camera lens. So there, that's the line should be here, because that's where his eye height is. Okay, it's very simple. You should never have a line like this. There's something wrong with your camera if you're professing that's where you're looking. The camera is square on everywhere it looks. The centre is always the centre. It shows you the direction you're looking at. So again here, we can see what's going on. The centre of the screen should be up here. So he's looking up the way. The centre of the screen will always show you the direction the camera is pointing. He is looking upwards. And when we play the video, you'll see as he zooms in, he's having to zoom in an upward fashion. Now again, as I said, if you have an object in the foreground with something behind it, and regardless if it's higher, as you lower your elevation, if you're slightly lower than the object in the foreground, this will parallax, it will drop down, as I showed you in these images. Okay, look, 287 metres, 83 metres. So as long as I'm below that height, I will get the effect. Yeah, let's just get these zooming in. Look at this video. So again here, you can see that he's looking up to this point, right? The line should be there. Not just defining where your horizon line is arbitrarily. The camera has central. It's got a lens in it. the crosshair central point never changes regardless of where you move the camera. I think this is the right footage. And this that he's showing from my perspective is absolutely spot on. And again, this guy is not showing exactly his camera. He's not showing the level. He's not showing the proper elevations. He's just being deceptive. Again, you can see here, here's the top, here's the center of the screen. Right? That's where the camera is looking. And he's drawing lines here, saying that's the height of his camera. He's an absolute lying piece of shit. Come on, what one is it? He keeps jumping to these stills. Anybody can recreate this. Go to any bridge, people. And if you've got a lower elevation than that spire, looking up at it, the things in the background will drop. Let me just check here. Was that the one I was just on? Was it this one? Again, you see him doing it. That's not the centre of the screen. Centre of the screen's here. That's where the camera's pointing. Let me just find this footage. I had it last night. You can see it again. Centre of the screen. Where the fuck's the footage? If you're tilting your camera up or down, you know, you're getting these effects. The whole point is this guy should be showing exactly where he is, the exact height, showing the camera is exactly level, but he's not doing that. He's just trying to deceive people. Where the fuck's that footage? This one. This one. I'm looking for the footage where he actually does zoom in on it. Give me a wee second. Where the fuck is it? Because you really see it as he moves and zooms. This one. Snake through these till I find it. See, again here he keeps pointing at these things like that's where he is, that's the height of the camera. He's looking up the way, okay? That's where he's looking. Right, you can see it here, look. That should never be up there, should be here. So he's taking them from different heights, he's tilting the camera back and forwards, trying to create the effect. Just as I'm showing you here, you'll always get the same thing. But people can go to the Erskine Bridge or anywhere local and you'll see that. Start changing your elevation, tilt the camera back and forward, and you'll get the exact same effect. Again here, lower elevation. Lower than that point, that's going to drop. That's much higher than that. Now we're a bit further away as the angle reduces. Anyway, where is this fucking footage? I had it last night. It's better stop screen sharing these to find this because I've only got a wee bit of time this morning. Shit, where was that? No, didn't mean that. Maybe second. I don't know what's going to happen here if I do that. Gav, can you hear me all right?
I can indeed.
I'm actually just on live just now.
Oh.
I'm just showing people this, we were discussing last night with these images and what's actually going on. So I'm trying to find that, see that video we were looking at, the one that you sent me in the chat box originally, where he was zooming in from that point.
Aye.
If you get the video there that you can send me.
Hold on, let me try and find it and send you the link, will I?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right, mate.
Are you live at the moment?
Aye, aye.
All right, let me try and find it as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Just.
No bother, Nick. I'd message you, Nick. You had it spot on as well, and so is my perspective. The centre of the screen is always the centre of the screen, Nick. You can see exactly what he's done. It's just a sneaky little toe rag. So I'm looking for this footage because as he manually zooms in, you can see his angle changing, so he's looking up at the top of the spire. He's just a fucking rat. Apologies again, people sitting eating my porridge. I'm only pointing at this because people are making a big song and dance about it. Again, visuals through a camera. Everybody has to remember it does not matter where the camera is looking. The lens is always the centre of the square frame. Right? Always the centre. That's showing you where you're pointing. And if you've got something just slightly higher than something in the background, looking at it, the background drops. So you get it, Gav? I'm just waiting, Gav, finding me this. So while I'm waiting, I'm just going to show you that again. Just to highlight the serious dishonesty of these deceivers. Desperate to try and keep this idiotic religion alive. Look, there's the centre of the screen. Hope you can see my mouse. That's the centre of the screen. That's where the camera is. No there. Look, you can't have a straight line intersecting there on the screen. It's always the central point. Where is this footage? Just bear with me, people, because I had it last night. Is it this one? It's the one where it shows you where he is. Fuck's sake. Right. Always keep central in the camera. So zoom right in here, twat. Right. Here, centre of the screen's here. Right? That's where the centre of the screen is. Right there. You can see he's no level with that. He's below the height of this. Hang on a minute. It's this one. Aye, right, you think I've got it now. Hang on. No, that's not either, Gav. So he's saying this is where he was when he took that, but he's not. You see it in the other footage, he's further down the hill. Okay? He's just pointing at things and saying this is his height, and then saying, oh, I tried to get the camera as level as possible and all this garbage. You can't just say that and get away with it and hope that nobody notices. Get to your zooming in, you little dishonest toraggy. Right. Where's the centre of the screen? Centre of the screen's right there, looking up at the fucking sky. Why are people falling for this garbage? It fucking bothers me that people are just no hammering on in this shite. People are actually being swayed by this dipshit and their antics. Fuck's sake, people, recreate these things for yourself. You can see how easy it is to do it. No worries, Gaff. As I say, I can show this easy. I drive it all the time, driving at the Erskine Bridge. As I get closer to the Erskine Bridge and it's higher in the foreground, the stuff in the background's dropped below it. As I start to get up to that elevation, it's no below it. Exactly, Gleam. Nick, do you want to join in with me quick here? I've only got 10 minutes, but if you want to join in with me, mate, I'm going to send you the link right now, bud. 2 seconds here. What's going on? Nick, this link's coming your direction right now, Nick. Yep, it's sent, Nick. Yes, Miles a liar, Davis. It's a sneaky little rodent playing desperate games to try and score a point to keep his religious crap alive. It's not going to work, son. Right. don't know where that footage is, where he's actually zooming in on it. Just bear with me. Oh.
Hi, Dale.
You all right, mate? How's it going?
All right, yeah, good to see you in the daytime for me, man.
Aye. Yeah, bit early for me, but hey ho. It was annoying me, so I thought I'm getting it done before I go.
Yeah, it's, I started doing a video on this as well myself, just to point out the obvious. The obvious is
Yeah.
And then you,
Right.
that was kind of what I was saying the other night. It's like, why should we feel that we got to waste time with these guys? But it has got to be pointed out because they're just muddying the waters with their sophistry, man. It's just
Exactly, mate. I'm watching him trying to get that footage where he's showing he's on the hill and he starts to zoom in. If you keep the crosshair on the centre of the screen, you can see that he's angling up to look at the top of the spire. It's just so obvious.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. But as usual, people just want to, and it's funny, isn't it? It's just like the other guys, one photograph that debunks the whole thing. Yeah.
They think you're just going to sit there and go, all right, okay, let's just arbitrarily start drawing eye lines anywhere on the screen. I mean, it's not a perspective drawing. It's a real life instrument where the centre is always the centre. You can't escape it,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know if you want. Oops, hang on, I got turned down. Bloody hell, sorry. I've done the worst thing possible. I've kept my sound on. I've got a couple of pictures that I drew the lines across if you want to see them, but I mean, it's obvious anyway.
Go for it, mate. Just
you try and what I got. Yeah. How do I?
Just watch when you screen share, Nick, that you don't screen share the Hangout. Obviously.
Okay. Yeah. Just a second. I'll make sure I
mean, the other fact to this is I'm not sure if that was right, but apparently that bridge is 30 kilometres from him, but the hills in the background are 90. Is that right? Was that the figures he gave?
The figures he gave was, he said it was 45 between him and the bridge, and then another 45 between the bridge and the hills.
Right. So that helps it along even more then, that they're further away. As I just showed with the pictures of the Erskine Bridge, just local to myself, the campsies in the background are like not even a mile away from the bridge. So if you've got that greater distance, then things further away are still subject to perspective as well, which they're going to lower a wee bit as well. But anybody can recreate the exact same effect.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what he set out to do in the first place, just create this straw man argument. I mean, he was never going to be scientific about it. And of course, he actually says in the video you showed just now that he was approximately 10 meters or so from the summit. So a meter, half a meter can make a huge difference when you're looking at something a couple of pixels wide.
Yeah. Well, as I was showing Gav last night, if I've got my camera and I've got, I can see my head higher than that object. As soon as I go beneath slightly, then my head and the object, the background drops dramatically.
Yeah.
Because I'm below the object in the foreground. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm trying to work out how I share without obviously revealing the.
If you go to I think on here, it should be at the top left, Nick, the green box.
Okay.
And then you want to share your application window.
Oh, it gives me the choice, yeah?
Application window, and make sure on the window that you've got it clicked.
Okay. Just a second, I'll just play it safe. Whoa. Okay. Ooh.
That's you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, as you said, there's the blue line.
Yep. Can you make that bigger, Nick? Can you click on it and make it bigger?
So, can you see that? Yeah.
I'm just seeing the small one. The small
really?
row.
Okay, hang on. Not sure why. Ah, shit. Does that help?
No, you must be showing the bigger one on a different screen.
Okay.
Well, what are you looking
Ah.
at? Do you know,
Sorry?
just see how you showed the image there of 1, 2, 3, 4 miles, 2 cans, that page?
Yeah,
You just click on one of the images, it should enlarge, should it not?
that's what I've done.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, but
Even,
maybe it's
even
just
there, even there you can see, you know, you've drew the straight line. The centre of the image is always the centre of the image, regardless of where the camera is pointing. So you can see he's looking into the sky.
Yeah.
There you go. Aye. He's looking into the sky.
Yeah. That one there.
Yep. And if you were to drag that down and keep the proportions equal, you'll see that that line will intersect those towers. He's lower than the top of those spires.
Yeah. I got a few others. His money shot, actually. Are you able to see that?
No, tiny, mate.
Okay. How the fuck am I gonna? Okay, just a minute. Let me stop sharing so I can get back to it and then see if I can share it better.
Yeah.
Application. It's not. That's as big as I can make it.
So that number 4 you've got, you can see where you're intersecting the line. It's showing you that he's not at level height with that tower.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how clear that is. I can't make. I'm clicking on it to make it come up in my screen, but it's not obviously not showing up in the Hangout. But
it's all right.
Yeah. That was his money shot, where he said that was the screenshot that he used from his own footage to do this thing with, and his eye level is about level with the hill in the foreground, and it's below. It's below the bridges, and all of these shots, I've taken a bunch, but they all show that eye level. Not one point does it actually come level with.
No, that's that. He's, you know, you can mess with the angle. You can play angle games, you know. But he's saying his height. If you watch that previous one where he's showing the kind of chimney, he's saying, "Oh, here's my height." You can't have height up the top of the screen. It's got to your eye. The centre of the screen is always the centre of the screen.
Yeah.
You can't escape that.
No, and of course that's what we've always meant by eye level, is that level right in the middle. And of course they do their best to confuse what you mean by level and all that. And that's all they've got, is to try and confuse the language that's used. And
Exactly.
yeah.
But as I say, once I've got the time, I can recreate it with the Erskine Bridge myself. I can go to that and I can show how it works, you know. So
yeah,
anybody can. Anybody can. As long as you're lower than the object in the foreground, what's behind it will drop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah. And of course the distance makes a difference. And I mean, another one of his videos where he's showing a wall. I mean, eventually anything that goes, no matter how large it is, if it goes into the distance, it will become part of the horizon and it will be blocked. by whatever is rising up to your eye level.
Exactly.
And to be honest, this whole focus on the horizon is a straw man in the first place, because they're all ignoring the fact that a flat surface does that.
Yeah.
There in the first place. So to
Exactly.
argue about degrees of difference is just
Well,
insane.
they keep going on about horizons as well, Nick, as if it's something solid, like a tangible fucking thing. The horizon's not anything.
Yeah.
You can't properly define it. You can't grab it and say, oh, there it's there, there's its dimensions. And it's just all nonsense.
That's right. Well, of course, that's only because that it's the way it's defined with the globe model and trigonometry and saying that the horizon is at a certain distance, but it's which it can appear to be when you're looking across a flat surface, because everything gets compressed and
it's just like you say, appears to be, Nick. Appears. Yeah, you know, on a cold morning like this morning, I can go out in the horizon's a shorter distance.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah. And in foggy weather, you still have a horizon right in front of you, but it's just your visibility is just. And actually, it's good that a lot of people are now revisiting places where certain globers have said, "Oh, that's curvature," and then they take shots at different day.
There's a perfect example happening right now, Nick. So if I present you right, you don't need to look over, but see to your right, you've got a window dressing that I know is above the height of your head. But see, because the camera's below your height,
right,
your head's above the height of that.
Yeah.
So it's easy to see what's going on. The centre of the screen's centre of the screen. It's intersecting your forehead.
Yeah.
You know, that's where the lens is actually focused, right there at the centre of your head. But it's below. It's below your height.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
So you know, right there, people can see the observation points. You can see what he's been up to. You know.
Yeah.
So,
but that's the whole thing about the globe, isn't it? That the whole entire globe is just, as you keep saying, it's all been observations in the sky which are governed by perspective, and that is completely ignored. This depth of field that tells us how far away things are is completely ignored in the model.
Yeah.
And it's like, you've taken 3D, taken out the third dimension and stuck it into 2 dimensions so you can stick it on paper.
And then arbitrarily drawing eye lines halfway or 3/4 up the height of the screen, or a quarter up the height of the screen, and trying to pass that off as that's the camera's height. No, the centre of the screen shows you exactly where you're pointing. Always. You can't escape it. So.
Yeah. It's funny and frustrating. It is so frustrating because it's just dishonest, as you say. It's lying.
Exactly.
There's nothing scientific about this. It's just dogmatic,
cherry picking. Let's recreate something to give the illusion that that's what's going on, and we'll redefine where our eye level is and start messing with the centre of the screen and all that kind of stuff. You can't get away with that.
No.
So it baffles me that people, ran with it, and people were deeply affected without actually critically looking at what was going on. The guy's showing you that one where he shows you Ben Lomond and he shows you the height of the chimney. He's drawn a red line 3/4 of the way up the screen, saying there's my height. I mean,
excuse me. I think it's the same. It's the same tactic that was used to, no one discovered the globe. They only discovered a way to define it. And say, because of this, or using 9.8 meters per second or this or that above the horizon.
So frustrating.
Axial tilt. It's just all about discovering a way to get people to imagine it.
Right, it's trying to confirm the bias. It's make the assumption and then try and cherry pick things to support it. Let's try and break it. Let's just keep looking for things to support it. It's just cult tactics,
Yeah, it is.
So,
The sooner people wake up to this, the better. It's because this is what it's all about. It's it's the one conspiracy, for want of a better word, that anyone can go and see for themselves. That's the whole thing. That's why it's so prominent. because then it just reveals to you how easily we're just misled into believing complete bullshit.
Yeah.
And to ignore our senses and instincts. And
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Without something like perspective, you can't drive, you couldn't walk down the bloody street.
No, you can't escape it. And I want to just keep reiterating to people, any screen that you're looking at, the center of the lens never changes. So as again, if I just use Nick as an example right now, we know physically that Nick is lower than the height of the top of that there at the back of him.
Yeah.
So stand up next to it, Nick.
Yeah.
So it's higher than you.
Yeah.
Right, so come back to the camera. Sit down.
Ta-da.
Right. Now, if I just draw a line at the top of Nick's head, oh, look, how can the window dressing be lower than the height of Nick? How does that work on a globe earth and all that stuff? Just because I'm redefining and telling you there's my eye level where the top of Nick's head is, the centre of the screen's right in the centre of his forehead. So, I mean...
No, I'm sorry, I've got to admit that my floor is actually curved.
Ah, that's that. Must be some serious curvature there at the back of you, Nick, you know?
I can't show you it, though. You just got to believe me.
Ah, exactly. Well, we'll just take stills and videos and start arbitrarily drawing, you know, lines wherever we feel like, you know?
Oh, man. Well, good. I just, like I said, I really appreciate that you've taken the time to do this, because it's one of those things you feel you've got to do, but, fuck, you know.
Well, it's just an image, Nick, and you know my stance. The substance comes first and foremost. The substance is no lying. People with optical equipments and stuff are telling fucking porky pies, and it's glaringly obvious. You know, we've just gave prime examples. I've shown the Erskine Bridge. I've shown where the centre of the screen should be. We've just pointed at showing where you are right now, because the camera's lower to your head height. The stuff in the background drops.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah. Simple. Yeah. Simple stuff. Simple stuff. But amazing that we're literally brainwashed into ignoring it. Yeah.
Exactly. So people just need to remember, if you go and look at these footages, you know, crosshair through your screen, the central point never changes. It doesn't matter where the camera is moving. The central point of the screen is always where the camera is directly pointing at.
Yeah. That's it. Real simple stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I got to go and pick up my kids now. So
I need to go as
thanks
well.
for having me on, man.
Cheers, Nick.
And, speak soon.
Take it easy, buddy.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
My man. So my perspective, done another one as well. I'll just share that with people in the chat box. Another channel that people should check out as well, my perspective. So you can tilt the camera as well. You can be at a slightly lower elevation. You can play all sorts of tricks with the camera. Go and try it. As I said, we're just showing it with Nick. Is the height of the window is observably higher. You know it physically is higher, but because he's closer to the camera and the camera's slightly lower than him and he's in the foreground, the stuff in the back lowers. Well, let's see if he keeps pushing it, because I'll take the camera out and I'll show the exact same recreation with the bridges that are close by me. He's got the opportunity to fucking man up and be honest before he gets really exposed. Right, I need to go, people. What's that? Peter Van Leeuwen from a lower point of view than the top of his head. Exactly. You only need to be slightly lower than the thing in the foreground. And if you watch his footage when he's zooming in, you see him angling up to the top, the very top of the spire, angling upwards at it. You can see clearly he's lower. There's a point that if I get the footage, you can see when he's dead straight on, centre of the screen, you can see the height he's at in regards to the highest spire. He's just a wee deceiving lying sack of shit, Miles, son. We know that because we've had you on here before. So it looks like you're hell-bent on trying to deceive people to keep your cult bullshit alive. It's not going to work, my man. Exactly, Tony Dixon, the perspective videos again, back to images and video. I don't care about any of that stuff, but when we've got people actively trying to deceive, I'm going to tear it to shreds and show exactly what he's up to. Right, take it easy, people. Keep thinking, keep discerning. Tear these things apart. Centre of the screen does not lie. It's always where the camera or the lens is pointing. It's a lens with a central point. Crosshair through the image you're looking at. That's where it's pointing. No, don't just let people start defining where they are with a misproportioned centre of the screen, with a wee short bit at the top and a bigger bit at the bottom. That's deception. Take it easy.